Welcome to the Boston Art Podcast,
Boston's premier art podcast,
where we talk art, culture, and philosophy.
My name is Theodore Earthworms.
And I am Brian Huntress.
Welcome to the show.
All right, we're on. Is that cool?
Yes.
So, I have a script today, Theo.
Very exciting. It's been a while.
And I'll let you decide if we read it or not.
Oh, what?
So the options are the script, or we just drive around and talk.
Well, you already printed the script and you seem pretty excited about it.
I just wanted to give you the option because this script is another dark, horrible one.
Why do you only write dark, horrible ones?
It's the only things I like.
Is there a trigger warning for the script?
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah.
What is the trigger warning?
This one shouldn't be. It's a controversial subject, so we're going to talk about it respectfully, with dignity, and not in a comedic or dumb way. But we're probably going to talk about violence, essay, and violence. Because this script is, I don't know. I'll just cut this out if we decide not to. But basically, we're going to talk about G.G. Allin, punk rock's biggest piece of shit and one of the first Lolcows of America.
Okay.
Are you interested?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, I guess, yeah.
We still have some driving to do.
We have some driving to do, but I guess I just kind of wanted to... I kind of usually feel like with this show, with our interviews and with the scripts, I feel like it's a little... I like to lean away from music history, because I feel like it's like a little bit cringe and like way too talked about to be like, oh, we're going to talk about... I don't fucking know.
Yeah. We're
going to talk about Steven Tyler, one of Cape Cod's native sons who became... I don't fucking know. Was he from Cape Cod or Marshfield?
I don't know.
I don't fucking know.
That's news to me, actually.
You didn't know he was a Massachusetts guy?
No.
Steven Tyler is like a 60s South Shore kid.
If you had approached me and asked me if I wanted to start a music history podcast, this never would have happened.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't either. Just because I think, like, the only stories that okay, here's how I think of any script or story that we talk about. Because, like, we talked about Andy Warhol, for example. Like, he is a subject of art history that has been trotted over 80 billion times.
Right. And
discussed in, like, a myriad of ways. And I felt like it wasn't worth talking about unless we can bring a new perspective to that. Like, I feel like it's really, really cool to take something extremely popular and create a brand new, interesting take about it.
Yeah.
But that is just immensely hard.
With music history? Or just
no, with anything. Like, with anything that's really popular, like the greatest hits.
Yeah.
You know, like, and the stories that I like telling. Like, I think the reason that I want to talk about G.G. Allin today is specifically because G.G. Allin is known as one of the most controversial, badass, crazy, like the most punk rock guy that ever lived in the history of ever. And I just wanted to make an episode about why I think that is just not true and is just damaging and horrible.
Interesting. Okay.
So we're going on the offense here against G.G. Allin.
This is a better pitch than what you started with.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
But the reason that I felt like...
Ugh.
You don't like this parking spot?
I don't want to face Wendy's.
Yeah, Wendy's is ugly.
Yeah.
I do like the character of Wendy's. Like, if somebody made like a like if Wendy's didn't exist and someone was like, check out my OC, and it was just Wendy.
It's just Pippi Longstocking.
I'd be like, I love that. That's so cute.
It's Pippi Longstocking.
Is it really inspired by Pippi Longstocking?
It's the exact same image.
That's true. It's like pretty much the same character design.
It probably isn't, but I mean, go over there in that dark area.
Okay. But yeah, the reason that I just like, I don't know, like I would literally talk about Steven Tyler and Aerosmith if we were maybe being like intelligently critical.
Okay.
And like talking about like, I don't know, like we were actually like bringing an intelligent and interesting perspective. But me and you, you know, we call these, we've taken to calling these things off air boomer rock and roll stories to refer to. I consider a boomer rock and roll story to be a boring, dumb, shitty story that is glorifying horrible, dumb shit and putting the past on a pedestal in a really boring, derivative way. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Like, how about that? Like, if someone's like, Jimmy, there's never been a good guitarist since Jimi Hendrix. Nobody can ever be better than Jimi Hendrix. I'd be like, that is like insanely boring and stupid to me. But if someone was like, I want to talk about the impact of Jimi Hendrix's legacy on like guitar players and like how he like faced adversity and built his career, just blah, blah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a little more interesting, at least.
I agree. It has
Versus,
to be a good, like a statement that holds water.
I don't know. Or pokes holes in something that's supposed to hold water.
Right.
You know? I'm like, it's like so hot in this car.
But I don't know, the AC.
Can we have just a little bit of it? Okay, how about this? How about we change the temperature of the AC?
Okay.
So that it's like a little bit, it's not like ice cold air, it's just like cool air. Is that a little better?
Yeah.
You sure?
I can close my vents too.
There's also a jacket back here. There's some hoodies.
No, I think I'm okay now.
Well,
This is a good move.
this?
What's
You want to
that?
put that on your legs?
Oh.
I think that's Noah's cardigan.
No, this is my cardigan.
Oh, it's yours?
Yeah, I didn't know it was back there.
Okay. Will you record? Will you hold the mic?
Yeah.
All right. So, like I said, I mean, I would, if you, let me say this. We're going to talk to the viewer for a second. Think of this episode as more of a true crime episode than an art history episode. And if you don't like that kind of content, skip this one.
Shit.
So we'll just say that.
Okay.
Then again. Okay. Anyway, this episode is titled The Horrible Story of Gigi Allin.
What about-
Punk rock's original Lolcow.
What if I don't like true crime stuff?
You are my hostage captive audience. Okay. I'm just kidding. Well, it isn't true crime like to the level of, it's not true. It's not really
It's
true
okay,
crime,
okay.
but there are a lot of true crimes in the
Fair.
story.
Okay.
So
Props to you for writing another script also.
thanks.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I was half asleep in bed this morning, and I was just saying to myself, I was remembering that we had to record today, and I was like, I just said to myself, I have time to write a script today. And then I fell back asleep. And then when I woke up, I was like, that was true. I should do that so that I don't feel bad later.
I didn't realize that this is going to be a record today, publish tomorrow episode.
Yeah, so don't say anything stupid because we're going to forget to cut it out because we're going so late. So have your guard up. Remember everything you say that you feel like wasn't the best thing you could have said, so we can cut it out. Because we usually have a few days to marinate and be like, you know what? Definitely get rid of that weird bit that I did.
Oh, God.
Anyway. Okay, the horrible story of Gigi Allin. Also, if you don't know what a lolcow is, this is a little too much context. It's a horrible, weird internet lingo word that is, rose up from the pits of hell and is now a mainstream thing. Basically, a lolcow is a person on the internet that is pretty much a horrible person that people torture and get reactions out of and get them to flip out and do crazy stuff online on purpose. And the whole point of people following them is to like just fuck with them and get them to do crazy stuff. But people usually justify it by doing this with a person who was already a bad person.
Yeah.
Like they're like a racist Nazi or a whatever, so then they start targeting them and making them do crazy stuff online. It's really fucked up. And if you're in the lolcow world, I probably don't even want to talk to you.
Yeah.
I just know what it is because I'm online. But I feel like, whatever, let's get into it. Scripts make my adrenaline high, so I lose my breath a little faster.
It's okay.
Okay.
We have water too if you need some.
Okay. So, Gigi Allin, a baby boomer born August 29th, 1956, a Virgo and a baby boomer. Gigi Allin was born named Jesus Christ Allin.
Really?
Yeah, in Lancaster, New Hampshire. Not to be confused with the name Jesus. Gigi Allin was born to a white Christian family, and his dad literally named him Jesus.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
That's crazy.
His father's name was Merle Colby Allin, who was born in 1923. He married his wife, a girl named Arletta, born in 1936. So he was 36 years his senior.
36 years?
I mean, 13 years his senior.
Oh, okay.
They already had 2 sons by the time Gigi was born, and his mom was only 20. So, yeah, so basically, anyway, we'll keep going. There aren't many official accounts of the state of their marriage besides, like, Gigi's own writing and content, or how their lives were, but according to Gigi, his father was a psychotic religious fanatic who believed he could communicate with Jesus personally.
Wow.
So this was like a talk to God, like spiritual vision, psychosis guy.
So right off the bat, we're in a very unique context.
Right. So Gigi Allin is born in a log cabin in fucking New Hampshire in the 50s to a Christian psychosis dad.
Nice.
With like a child bride for a wife.
Awesome.
Anyway, yeah. Blah 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 blah. Before Gigi was born, basically, Merle believed that Jesus came to him in a dream and told him that his next son would be the Messiah, or would be Jesus incarnate.
Wow.
So Merle believed that his son, Jesus Christ, was Anyway, fun fact, but also a sad fact, Gigi is named Gigi because one of his brothers had a speech impediment and couldn't pronounce Jesus, so he took to calling his brother Gigi, and he kept the name for life.
Oh.
Which is kind of sweet, but it's just really depressing, right?
I think it's sweet.
Anyway.
Did he keep the legal name Jesus the whole time?
Yeah, his name was Jesus his whole life, but Gigi just became his permanent name.
Interesting.
Kind of like how my brother Liam is named Liam, despite him being called, his name's William. Anyway, back to Merle. He is said to have beat Gigi and his other two sons, also his wife Arletta. According to Gigi, Merle once dug graves for his entire family in their dirt-floored basement and planned to kill everyone in a murder-suicide.
Oh my god.
This plan did not come into fruition for reasons unknown. They are said to have lived in a primitive state, and Merle did not allow the kids or his wife to contact anyone. Gigi said they were more like prisoners than a family. Eventually, Arletta attempted to divorce Merle, but not without trouble. Merle ended up kidnapping the kids, and there was a whole fucked up, crazy situation. The details of the event is really hard to find. But by the time Gigi was 5, Arletta successfully divorced him, and she took the kids to live in Vermont, remarried, and put the boys in real school. So
They didn't go to school before that?
I don't think so. I think it's kind of murky information because, like, pretty much all of the information is hearsay or Gigi Allen's personal accounts. But you will come to find in the story that Gigi is an unreliable narrator.
Interesting.
So they're living in Vermont. They have a new stepdad. Basically, they get a normal life. But
Good
not
for
all.
Arletta. She was only 25 at this point.
Right. So, I mean, yeah, she's kind of a sad character in this whole story. So we'll hear more from her later. Gigi, unfortunately, despite being given this new comfortable, normal life, suffered in school massively. His brothers say he was bullied relentlessly, and he was placed in a special education program because he couldn't pass any of the lessons or tests or anything. By his sophomore year of high school, he also began attending school in full drag, saying he was inspired by a punk band called the New York Dolls from the 1970s. And this only increased Gigi's pariah status, but was a sign of what was to come, because Gigi, basically you see in Gigi's early life in high school that he was starting to cultivate this social reputation of being outwardly hated by everybody and failing to complete anything, but also he was the guy that also was trying to create that reaction in everybody all the time.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. So basically, despite being tortured and harassed, he develops a taste for being tortured and harassed. Despite his hatred for oppression, he intentionally courted it. And you may be feeling bad for Gigi at this point, and maybe you should, but his teenage years weren't all victimhood and sadness. He spent his days outside of school selling drugs, breaking into people's houses and stealing their stuff, stealing cars, and playing in punk rock bands. So Gigi Allin in his high school years was doing drugs, selling drugs, beating people up, and was just a general hoodlum.
Okay.
So
Badass.
yeah, so from the beginning, we see a young boy born into abuse, isolation, and chaos, only to become an abusive, chaotic young man. This is an obvious result. Unfortunately for Gigi and the rest of the world, he was going to get way worse. So, anyway, Gigi graduated high school by 1975, went to college, and eventually got his master's degree in social work.
Really?
No.
Oh.
No, just kidding. That absolutely did not happen.
I was like, what the fuck?
Nope. After graduation, he threw himself deep into punk rock playing in scores of bands, such as his first band titled Little Sisters Date, which is a pretty creepy name for a band.
Yeah.
Another band called Malpractice, Scumfucks, and a band that he played in for almost 10 years called The Jabbers. Almost all of these bands featuring Gigi's older brother, Merle Jr., who played bass guitar, I believe. It's kind of funny because all of Gigi's bands were like kind of a family band featuring Merle all the way up until the end.
Wow. That's interesting. What's his older brother?
Yeah.
Did he have a lot of influence on Gigi?
Yes and no. You'll come to find basically... sorry, I feel like... Is this a good script, you think?
Yeah.
It's hard to do.
You executed that joke really well. I fell
Was that good?
for it.
You fell for it?
Do you want some water?
No, I just had some Gatorade.
No, you should have some water.
I should have some water, too?
Yeah. You're doing great. You're just having the pre-script, like early script jitters.
This is a short script, too, so we'll get through it pretty fast.
I was relieved to see that you're not holding 30 pages this time.
Really? The Andy Warhol one was like a mistake.
No,
that
everybody
one went
loved
for
it though.
so long. Yeah.
That was a very good episode. We put out so many episodes, we very rarely get feedback just because of the volume that we release, but we got a lot of individual people telling us in person and online that they appreciated that episode.
Imagine if we like just kept digging deeper and deeper and deeper and more Andy Warhol episodes.
Just a whole podcast about him.
Just like infinite Andy Warhol.
Oh, by the way, I got an email that somebody commented on our podcast, but we have to approve it before it can be posted. And I don't know how to look at it.
You'd have to go to Spotify for podcasters.
I don't have my password. I'm locked out.
Just use your... I'll show you how to do it.
I'm locked out of my Spotify.
Oh my god. How are you listening to music then?
I'm listening to it on my phone because I'm auto-logged in, but I don't know my login. Like, I just, scan my face.
Alright, let's keep it going. Wait, you should... Actually, never mind. We'll talk about that later. Okay. Over the next decade or so, Gigi regularly put out albums, toured, and made considerable connections in the emerging hardcore punk industry. He was never really connected to the greater East Coast hardcore world that we know from the 80s, but he was still touring, playing regionally, and chopping it up with punk record labels and producers. He was once featured, actually, this is kind of a weird fun fact, on an album, like some kind of weird punk compilation record label thing with none other than Jay Mascis of Dinosaur Jr.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I think they did a couple songs together, which is like a super weird connection because you would never associate Jay Mascis acoustic cover of like Fade Into You by Mazzy Star with Gigi Allin. Like they don't really fit together in my mind, but anyway, we're not covering this part to highlight and celebrate Gigi's career, but instead to show that he, by my opinion, had a really normal life at this point. He spent his 20s cutting records, touring, and building a music career, all the while partying, doing drugs, and committing crimes.
You're not describing a very normal life, to be honest.
Well, I'm just saying, like, literally, I wrote it down here, like, this is literally run-of-the-mill, par for the course for a guy in their mid-20s, like, a punk rocker trying to, like, make a career. Like, he's just playing in bands. He's making, like, real, actual industry connections with producers. He's putting out albums. He's touring. Like, it's, like, kind of going well for him.
Yeah.
But, yeah. At this point, we finally arrived at the real tipping point of Gigi's story, where he becomes the demon that he is known as today. By the time Gigi was about 29 or 30, he was a full-blown alcoholic who is said to... he would basically abuse any drug that you handed him.
Oh.
Like, you just give him anything and he would do it.
Yeah.
Meth, dope, anything. He had no regard for his own life or anyone else's. Are you shocked? Of course not. Of course not. Thank you, Merle Sr. Anyway, sorry. I didn't do that joke very good.
That's okay.
But yeah, so basically, we see this guy who's, just, we covered his childhood kind of lightly, but, here we are at 29, 30 years old, and he has become a moderately successful total piece of shit.
I mean, that's the thing, like, when you were saying that he had a pretty normal life, like, the beginning of his life does not sound normal at all.
That's a good point. I guess what I was saying is that his 20s were, like, he was, like, kind of shaping up to be a regular guy.
Yeah.
In the music world.
He could have made it out of the childhood.
He almost made it out. Yeah, because that's such a thing. Like, I've heard a lot of people talk about that, people who come from abusive backgrounds, that a lot of people resent the idea that if you grow up in a horrible environment that you're going to be horrible.
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, kind of an offensive and not really helpful stereotype to trauma and abuse survivors, that just because they went through trauma and abuse, I've heard people call it like the vampire method of viewing it, where like it's like you've been bit by a vampire and now you're a vampire.
It's stigmatizing too, because it gives people the idea that like they're ruined or something because something happened to them that was out of their control.
Yeah, which is just totally fucked up.
Yeah.
And what ruins it and creates that is, unfortunately, people like Gigi Allin.
Yeah.
So
I do understand it though. Like it is an easy pattern to fall into, like the idea of kind of reclaiming the chaos. Like you aren't grossed out by me, or you're not upset by me because something else is wrong and I don't have control. It's because I'm doing this fucked up shit and now you're afraid of me. You know?
Yeah. And I totally relate to that, because like when I was a little kid, I got bullied a little bit and I felt like pretty helpless, like, you know, the way that every young tween, like Diary of a Wimpy Kid age feels.
Yeah.
And my response to that was, I have to be the toughest, meanest, scariest kid here.
Yeah.
Like I got to be a tough guy punk rocker now. I kind of went down the exact same mindset. Fortunately, I was able to grow out of that before I even turned 18. Well, that's being pretty fucking generous. Yeah. It's safe to say I don't need to be a big, scary, tough guy these days.
That's good.
It doesn't really, it's not real. It's a veneer.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, should we keep going a little bit?
Yeah.
Feel free to interrupt at any point with your commentary.
You're doing a good job.
I'm doing my best.
You're doing a great job.
Doing this.
You wrote this whole thing today.
Yeah, but I didn't edit it at all.
So
this is really just whatever.
This is a live
editing.
Live editing, yeah.
Yeah. You may not know this, Theo.
Okay.
But Gigi Allin's true claim to fame in modern punk rock history, the thing that he is known for, when if you bring up Gigi Allin, this is the story that people tell, is that he would regularly defecate on stage. He would defecate on stage. He first did this in 1985 at a small venue in Illinois.
He did it at a small venue for the first time? That's crazy.
Those are the only places that he played. He never got beyond the point. Like, so this...
Oh, really?
Yeah, this one that he did this at was like an Elks Lodge or like a Knights of Columbus or something.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and one of his tour mates described the story like this, that he bought a bottle of X-Lax a few hours before the show, immediately drank the entire bottle, and throughout the day, like hours before the show, he had to hold it in all day and was like, had the most miserable, horrible time ever.
Does that like get you high or something, or was he planning to shit on stage?
He was doing this on purpose.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
he's just a total freak. Got on stage, stripped, completely naked, and started shitting all over the stage. The show was nearly sold out in a huge packed room, and everybody immediately started running out of the venue, and like it was a huge crowd pandemonium of people trying to escape. And they saw, and the old guys that ran the venue were all freaking out and shutting the whole thing down and ready to literally murder Gigi.
Wow, nobody even liked it? Like, it wasn't like a crazy funny thing? Everyone fucking hated it?
That's the thing about Gigi Allin, is this is the audience that he cultivated, was when people were going to shows, they were there to slam dance and or whatever boomers called it at the time. You know, crazy punk rock, like Sex Pistols, The Clash, like whatever shit, or alternative. So that was the original punk stuff, but happening at the same time was Madball, Blood for Blood, Black Flag, all the stuff that like Dwayne's into, like the Boston hardcore. Yeah, shout out to Dwayne. That was happening at the same time. And those guys didn't even really fuck with Gigi Allin. He never even played any of those shows, but he kind of beat them out. By those guys were like, we will punch you one time and it will just blow up your skull like an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie or something. Like they were like the scary, beat you up, spin kick you to death people.
Okay.
But Gigi Allin was like, you know, doing heroin and hanging out with queer people and hitchhikers, and like, you know, he's kind of like a Ryan Murphy character. Okay. Like he could be like an American Horror Story villain because he never identified as like as gay or queer or bisexual, but would openly say, we'll get to this later, that he would have sex with men and women or anybody. Like, so he did say at times that he had sex with men, maybe, But he also was like a pathological liar and would just say anything to horrify people.
Was he saying it to be like a freak, or
Maybe.
was it... Okay.
Maybe. He might have had sex with men. He might not have.
Interesting.
But he did. But the thing was...
Gay icon.
Yeah, so he literally, like, these are the kind of characters that we love. Is like, literally the best description is Ryan Murphy villains.
These are the characters we love.
That's what I like to think about the most. But, like,
All right.
But basically, so everybody hated it the first time, obviously. But you got to remember, like, this was the era of fanzines and B horror movies, and I don't know, like Marilyn Manson was like was in his embryonic stages, about to come out in the next few years. Like, I don't know. This was like, what am I trying to say here?
It was a weird time.
It was a time where punk rock, kill everybody, fuck the world was like, he is one of the like the four horsemen of the apocalypse of fuck the world, just kill yourself, the world's ending, like punk rock. Like G.G. Allin is like one of the like integral parts of that philosophy. Yeah, I guess, in my opinion.
I mean, I understand why people thought it was crazy, too, because, like, I don't know, thinking about that in the context of, like, your local scene. Like, imagine if you heard that some guy you know, that's, like, a mid-tier normal guy, did that at, like, an Elks Lodge in Cambridge. I'd fucking go to his next show. If a bunch of my friends were going, I'd be like, you know what, yeah.
So, yeah.
I'll go see that shit.
Exactly. That's exactly what G.G. Allin did, is he found this, like, amazing shtick where he was getting written up in magazines, and record labels wanted to talk to him because he was the guy that would literally, like, and this is why he was horrible too, is he would literally just grab somebody, pull them out of the crowd, and just start beating them to death.
Oh my God.
Like, he would just punch the shit out of people, throw shit onto someone's face, kick them in the face, and he'd be completely naked, beating people up, covered in his own feces.
Okay, I actually don't think I would go to that show.
No, hell, never. But the thing was, so normal people were all like, fuck this guy. This guy's the worst person ever. But the people started hearing about it, and his people started to come out of the woodwork.
Ooh.
So the fans, his cult following, were people that wanted to be in the splash zone.
Yeah.
They wanted to get beaten up. They wanted to do heroin with him. He started creating an army of freaks, basically.
Okay.
Anyway, during this time, Gigi also weirdly started to actually... So he started... I doubt he ever made any real substantial amount of money, but he was bankrolled, because at this time, you couldn't book tours yourself. You absolutely needed a tour manager or a record label to be helping you out, giving you directions to the venues, like communicating with venues for you, because it's the fucking 80s and 90s. Like, right. It's not... People were DIY touring back then, I'm sure, but you needed help.
Yeah.
You need help today, even with the internet. It's not fucking easy. But so he kind of had a little bit of freedom, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, he probably wasn't selling drugs, and he didn't need a job. Not that I probably never had a job in his entire life, but anyway.
Depends what counts.
But yeah, so he's got a little freedom, so he started kind of exploring his artistry a little bit. He described Hank Williams, country legend, as one of his main influences, which is kind of weird. He believed they were kindred spirits because they both did drugs, wrote music, and traveled the country nonstop.
Just them.
Just them. They're the only ones. So, Gigi felt like he had this spiritual connection to Hank Williams.
They're really the only two I can think of that have done that.
Yeah, it's a really small group of people. Gigi even recorded his own renditions of Hank Williams songs and went on to write two full acoustic country-styled punk albums, which I feel like are some of the earliest and kind of most essential folk punk albums. Like, I wouldn't promote G.G. Allin and say you should go listen to him, but if you did, literally these albums sound like they could be like Days and Days or Harley Poe or something.
Okay.
Weirdly, these country albums are the cleanest and best produced albums that G.G. would ever make. All of his other core original punk music that he made is completely unlistenable.
Really?
Like, the records, it just sounds like it was recorded through a payphone. Huh. Like, they're just terrible, terrible songs. Well, they were, like, probably cool to a point live. Like, his famous one is, like, it's Bite It, You Scum. And the whole time it's just, like, guitar and drums, and he's going, Bite it, you scum! bite it, you scum. That's like the whole thing. And it's just like 3 minutes long, and he'd probably just beat people up and yelled that
Okay.
the whole time.
Nice. It's a vibe.
So that's GG Allin. That's kind of what he was up to.
It was like an ambient kind of
well,
atmosphere.
at the time, punk was like, so I don't know. We don't have to do a whole history of punk, but punk was just like, you know what I mean? That's all it.
Keep going.
That's just what punk was, and then a guy just like. Now, if you make a band like that now, maybe it'll have some charm live, but it's like not. It's just not that great.
It's just like I don't know. I feel like what I'm about to say is.
Oh, make sure you point it at YouTube.
I was gonna say what I feel like I'm about to say is kind of super obvious, maybe, but it's just like funny to picture that because it's like so like earlier punk stuff is so simple compared to a lot of the like I feel like a lot of what you hear now is more like hardcore influenced and like heavier,
Definitely,
and more complex, like musically. And the stuff from before was like, and this is probably like wrong, and a musician would like laugh at me for saying this, but I feel like it's like in the same genre as like doo-wop is to rock in my mind. But it's like very like
comparison.
It's like simpler. So imagining some guy doing that and like shitting on stage and beating people up is like insane.
It's similar to how you don't see a lot of like Judas Priest style metal anymore, but you do see metalcore. It's like kind of filling that market gap. Like you're not going to see a guy on stage like or like whatever the fuck they did.
Yeah.
Like, but you'll see like, I don't know, like I don't even know what metalcore bands still exist. Like Asking Alexandria or like Sleeping with Sirens, because it's got the metal aesthetics, or Black Veil Brides. But it's like I feel like the final maturity stage of every genre is just a recreation of that genre fused with pop. You know what I mean? Metalcore is metal with pop choruses. Pop punk is punk with pop choruses.
We had a long conversation about this one time.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was on the air or not.
A lot of the most popular rap music, this is like sacrilegious, and somebody who like really knows hip hop and rap would maybe disagree, but some of the most popular rap in the world is just rap that incorporates pop elements. Because like that's the thing, is we all have this like Western sensibility where we like it to be linear and repetitive and have a pretty thing to sing a few times, like a pretty refrain. Whatever, we don't have to anyway. This has nothing to do with GG Allin. Oh, but yeah, so GG Allin's generation of punk did the complete opposite, where it had zero
structure,
zero pop sensibility at all, just pure whatever.
Yeah.
You know, where were we? Oh, so this is also a time where, because GG has more freedom and he's traveling around the country, he also becomes a little bit fucking creepy. He explored some of his darker inclinations with his love and fascination for serial killer John Wayne Gacy.
Oh, God.
If you ever meet anybody in this world or hear about anybody in this world who collects John Wayne Gacy paintings, thinks he's cool, draws him or whatever, they're not chill. The guy from the Nickelodeon expose thing, Drake, the Drake Bell guy, that guy, not Drake Bell, but his abuser collected John Wayne Gacy paintings.
Oh, I forgot about
and
that.
Was a pen pal with him.
Ugh.
So there have been many sick fucks over the decades since John Wayne Gacy's arrest and up until his death, of people interacting with him for weird, creepy reasons. And if you don't know who John Wayne Gacy is, you know, he was the original killer clown.
Yeah.
So
Google that.
He was a complete piece of shit. He murdered unsuspecting young gay men. He's very similar to Jeffrey Dahmer, if you're a true crime person. Gigi became pen pals with him and even visited him in prison multiple times. Gacy painted a portrait of GG Allin that he went on to use as album art for one of his releases.
Really?
Yeah, so this is another thing where we're just kind of creating the picture here.
He collabed with John Wayne Gacy.
He
That's
basically
weird.
collabed with John Wayne Gacy, the murderer, piece of shit scumbag that killed innocent people for no reason. Just because he was a sick freak.
In a clown suit.
Well, I think the clown suit is a bit of a sensationalization or whatever that word is.
Is that not real?
It was. So he was a clown as his job.
Oh, he
was
just happened to also be a clown?
Yes, like I don't think that was his like full-time thing, like, but he was like a birthday clown on the side. Like it was like a one of his jobs that he would do.
That's so unfortunate for the clowning community.
It really is. The clowns have like
That's not even related.
Yeah, clowns. I don't think he was like wearing a clown suit killing people.
I feel like I've seen like art of him doing that.
Absolutely. That's the thing, is because he was a fucking
That's like what the serial killer community puts on like chibi pins. Is like
Right.
the killer clown John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, they love the killer clown aspect of it, but
Yeah.
But yeah, let it be known that here at the Boston Art Podcast,
We don't endorse
John
Wayne
we do.
Gacy. So we're clear.
Anyway, but yeah, literally with every fiber of my being, every bone in my body, absolutely fuck anybody that glorifies this type of shit. It's totally fucking whack.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's gross.
This is the point in the story where we stop feeling bad for Gigi Allen. So
It was a few minutes ago.
This is the official line where Gigi is no longer a sad poor guy that was a beaten puppy, and now he is responsible. Okay. Well, he's been responsible the whole time, but this is where you can start hating him. Like many, we kind of covered this already, but like many victims of horrible trauma, he responded negatively to it. And through those symptoms, he unfortunately transformed into a monster in his own right. He was completely fucking crazy, yet weirdly, he was very, very industrious and extremely busy. He kept touring nonstop 24/7. All of his, pretty much all of his performances featured his signature defecation, beating people up, and it almost always ended in extreme damage to the venue and sound equipment.
Ugh.
So yeah, he basically, everywhere he went, he just fucking wrecked the place and destroyed it, and the show got shut down.
Wouldn't that like really fuck your body up too? To be doing that at every show?
Yeah, we're gonna get into that a little bit too. This resulted in Gigi being arrested for assault and battery and indecent exposure on a regular basis, because it's illegal to be naked on stage unless you are like an adult entertainer.
Yeah.
His touring was only ever stopped because of his jail time, hospital stays for broken bones, and as you brought up, he would break his bones regularly, or blood poisoning from his unsanitary activities, and other types of physical trauma.
I meant like your like GI tract.
Oh, I'm sure
You're drinking X-Lax every show.
He was drinking X-Lax, doing heroin, meth, crack.
That'll do
like
it
he was
too.
just and like beating himself, breaking his own bones, beating people up.
Okay, not good.
Yeah, this man was just purely fucked. You may be wondering at this point, why in the blue fuck would any venue ever book this guy? The answer is, I have no fucking idea. I have some theories. I think it could be money. Like, they just knew that they'd make some money, so they just were like, fuck it. It could be notoriety, that they just wanted, I don't know, they wanted to be the guy that booked them, or more likely than anything, it was just complete negligence on the venue or the organizer's part. This is stating the obvious, but this was way before the internet, so you couldn't easily cancel anybody or spread the word about fucked up behavior. Gigi was notorious and despised in many parts of the country, but it's not easy for music scenes to connect, even right now in the internet age.
Yeah.
There are huge, crazy pockets of DIY music all over the world that will never know about each other or ever cross paths, even currently. That's just life. So in the 1980s, that was probably like 900 times like more. Like, if you were going to try to spread the word about Gigi Allen being a psycho freak, what were you going to do? Like,
Call every venue in the world.
yeah, or like send out like 9,000 letters. More likely than not, you would maybe try to get some expose published in a fanzine or something. But
Do people read those then?
yeah, I mean, sure. Like, if you were like really into a super niche interest, that was the only way you were going to have access to it.
That's fair.
Like punk or sci-fi or like, nerds and alt people needed zines. Or not necessarily just zines, but just indie magazines.
Yeah.
So,
I wish that culture was still alive now. People sometimes collect zines if they're free, but they just pretend to read them, I think.
Yeah, I collect zines because I feel like it's just like a fun type of art to collect. Like
Same.
I probably will not read them.
I love making zines.
If you make a zine that is completely only pictures, I will look through it and look at every picture. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. Okay, yeah. So despite there being people all over the country that probably wanted to shoot and kill him and hated him, people booked him. Like
Okay.
he had tours booked, just like around the clock all year. Blah 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 blah. Another big draw that Gigi had was that he was constantly teasing, which is kind of a cliche at this point, live killing himself.
Ooh.
He would promote this he would call into radio shows or do interviews where he would say, I'll just keep reading. He wrote to a punk magazine that he would K-word himself on stage on Halloween of 1989. But unfortunately, he was in prison when that date came, so the show never happened.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. He continued to do this promo every Halloween for the next few years and was in jail every single time. When pressed about him dodging the his live death, Gigi said, with Gigi, you don't get what you expect, you get what you deserve, which is a pretty fucking weird statement. He also stated that death, or as suicide, should only be done at your peak so you can go to the afterlife at your strongest.
Oh my god.
So
what a weird statement.
Yeah, so this is really illustrating the type of person he was. And if you didn't know, also, this man was a very imposing, large, like big, he was like a chunky, bald guy with like a long, creepy chin beard.
I did not know that.
And he was just covered in just cuts and bruises and smelled like death and was just a horrible, ugly, scary guy. And he also, what's weird about him too, this is like offensive, but I feel like I've made funny comments about Dwayne Lucia's accent, who's like our friend and a local celebrity kind of, but he literally sounds like Dwayne. Like he has like a very classic New England, like Boston style.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think of a good way to imitate him.
I feel
Like fuck the world and fuck you. I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Like
that's an impression of Gigi Allin, not Dwayne.
yeah, like Gigi Allen. Like he had the same. Like you know how Gigi. You know how like I don't know if everybody would agree with this, but a young person's Boston accent is different than the Boston accent of somebody who's 70.
Yeah.
Like people that are in the silent generation or boomers have a different Boston accent.
I kind of wish that I had that one.
Yeah, but like he had an older kind of like, it just reminds me of an
The
old timey.
authentic.
Yeah, and he's
Boston.
not from but if you're not from the New England region, people from New Hampshire sound the same as people from Boston, kind of. You know, Rhode Island, Maine, New Hampshire.
Well,
I mean, there's subtle differences. Like a lot of people feel like the Rhode Island and Boston accent are completely different.
the Maine accent is not the same as Boston.
What the hell is the Maine accent?
Different.
I mean, I'm sure there's probably people in Maine that just sound Canadian, like maybe if they're from like Bangor or like super North Maine.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure most of them just sound like New England people.
Well, I mean, it's hard
They
to say.
definitely don't have like Southern accents or something.
Why the fuck? Who said that?
Some people from rural areas seem to just adopt Southern accents, even if they're not from the South. Have you noticed that? Like, I've met people that live in like Western Mass that just like seem Southern. They have like a Southern aura.
A little bit of a drawl.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you're from like where? You're from Gardner, dude. You're not like from fucking. Like, you live in Springfield next to Six Flags, not fucking the Florida-Georgia line.
That's so true. Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so whatever. Okay, let's keep going. Don't get me wrong here. I don't think this stuff about suicide or him promoting his live death is funny or cool. I think the shit is dumb and awful. And Gigi at this point was completely out of his tree mental and was just literally hell on wheels.
There's a part of me that still feels bad for him a little bit, but
I do too, but he loses. He like completely. We haven't even talked about the worst stuff he will end up doing.
oh god.
So many defenders of Gigi Allen will tell you that it was all shock value and that he didn't care or think about what he was doing or saying, and he would just do and say the most offensive and horrible thing possible at any given moment. Which, it's like, maybe it's true, but we've gone over this so many times through internet culture in the 2010s that even with offensive comedy, it doesn't matter if you think you're kidding, or if it's ironic. Like, it just doesn't matter what your intention is. If you are saying like slurs or offensive stuff, or you're like, you know, like you're making, you know, let your imagination run wild. Like, if you're doing these kinds of jokes, it's not like, you don't get to just pretend that it's ironic.
Yeah.
Or that,
funny.
It's just trying to be shocking. It's trying to be offensive. Like, it's like, no, like, you're actually just as bad as whatever you think you're parodying.
Well, the other thing too is like, I don't know, this is maybe whatever, but the whole like thing of doing things for the sake of shock value and outrage, saying that that's not the same thing as being shocking and outrageous is like, then what are you trying to achieve?
It's like conceptual art.
It's a false layer of removal.
Yeah, it's detachment. It's like being able to access these horrible actions as like some way of catharsis or hurting people, while being able to disavow it and being like, well, I didn't actually mean it.
It's like pretending to
it's a
punch
parody
someone
account.
Like, made you flinch.
Yeah, or worse, punching them and being like, I was pretending to be a guy that punches people.
Yeah, like what?
So this is the thing, is people feel like Gigi Allen is just among all of the Gen X 90s people that were offensive or shocking or like making art with their own blood. Like, you know how there's this kind of 90s poetry to shock value. Like, they were like the last generation of shock value people, you know, for performance and art and stuff.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about that on the performance art episode. How we were talking about performance art is like a lost art, and Gen X were the last true performance artists. I feel like people a lot of the times want to include Gigi Allen in that. But I don't think so. I don't know. But yeah, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, so with that all being said, we're getting to his, what I think is actually his final interview. Oh, that's actually really loud to have the window open.
That's okay. There's just a truck driving by.
Oh. So, you know how there used to be these 1980s and 90s daytime talk show cable things where, kind of like similar to when we were talking about Andy Warhol and Edie Sedgwick, how they used to just have like random New York people on a talk show where they're like, we have a New York City subway bum, a pimp, and a cop. And we're all going to duke it out. Like that kind of thing. They had Gigi Allen on one of those. And he was featured with 2 random underage girls that he traveled with.
Oh.
A cop, a random New York police officer, and 3 drag queens / club kids that were completely unrelated to Gigi Allen and his crew. They just like had like these drag queens on one side, and then Gigi Allen and the girls and this cop.
Okay.
As a way to like just create some chaotic fucked up thing. It's a really weird interview to watch, actually, because when they go to the drag queens, they're just like, yeah, we just love art and we make all our own clothes.
They're just
makeup.
Like totally normal, cool people.
We love fashion. Like they're just like talking like intelligently about like art and what they do and this stuff.
Everyone's like, oh, they're drag queens.
What the fuck? Like, and and then they cut to like,
That's
and then really offensively, like they're putting them up there with Gigi Allen and a cop, and Gigi Allen. And, like, this is, like, where, like, you know, Gigi Allen's, like, literally... Like, he's literally a fucking lolcow at this point, because he's up there. At one point, the famous quote is too fucked up and gross, so that I'm actually not even going to say it on the episode.
Can I read it? Did you write it?
No, I didn't even write it down, but you can infer. But basically, he says on the show, I can do anything to anyone at any time, any age, gender, or even animals. I will do anything to anybody whenever I want, basically. So
he used different words.
He used very, very, very different words than what I just said. So, and the crowd was like, oh my God, like, and all this crazy shit. And he's wearing also wearing a World War II styled like Nazi helmet and like pretending like he's up there saying, I will fucking kill you, all of you. I'll like, you know what I mean? And like, the thing is like, this is the moment of like blurred magical realism. where you hear him say that and you're like, that is completely real. He's telling the truth, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then people who like him are like, no, he's just trying to offend those people.
And he was standing next to 2 minors also.
Yes, so
Jesus.
it's like just fucking...
Who are they?
No one knows. I don't know. I mean, maybe if you tried hard enough, you could find out who they are, because it's, a small world, I guess, but...
They're definitely...
And they were also doing a kind of shtick where they were like, Gigi Allin is God. He is my Messiah. Basically, they were like saying all this cult member stuff, like, we're in a cult, Gigi Allin is our Messiah. And he's like up there screaming and being like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, I'm gonna fucking have sex with your dog. And like saying, and then there's the cop there that's like, basically they brought the cop on to be like, I don't know, to fight with him. Like as a heel. The cop was there as like a heel.
That's so like, it's so concrete just to have like a cop.
Yeah.
Like it's not even like just some like other person or someone with an opposing view. It's just like the law.
Just a cop. I think now, the more I think about it, it's been a few months since I watched.
It's wrong, is it not?
No, I think there might have been another person. It was Gigi Allin, the girls, a cop, and then maybe another person. But I can't remember. But it's kind of it's worth watching if you check it out. It's known as Gigi Allin's final interview, and an interview where he, on video and clear as day, basically says the most heinous, horrible shit you could ever imagine that has become permanently just intertwined with his legacy. I believe him. What he said. I think what he was saying. I think he's probably actually a horrible, twisted guy that was hurting people.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, you don't know. I don't know, like, because people will be like, he's, whatever. I'm reiterating what I'm saying over and over again.
I think you're probably right, because like, how much more does someone have to do before it becomes a red flag?
You have to point it at yourself when you talk too.
I'm fine.
Well, I want them to be able to hear you just as much as they hear me.
They can hear me.
People complain about that the most about the show.
That they can't hear me?
Yeah, as much as like I'm way louder.
Oh, well, you are louder.
I'm just so loud and obnoxious and stupid.
What?
I'm just kidding.
That's not true.
But yeah, I don't know, man. And like, whatever. I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to conclude the story. There's only a few paragraphs left.
Well, you don't have to rush. It's okay.
Well, no, I was about to say more points that I have that are for the end.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So,
proceed.
By 1989, and after this final interview, this is kind of like the crowning jewel of him being a piece of shit. He had lost all deniability for his heinous activity when he was arrested for the felonious assault of a woman, I think from or after one of the shows.
Holy
I think
shit.
just out of respect, just for the people involved, we're not going to like go too detailed on this, but he basically attacked someone and was arrested for beating somebody like really fucking bad. Like,
wow.
So, and there was this whole fucking weird court battle where he was like saying, it was a weird, murky situation where there was like a he said, she said, who's who, this and that. But the facts of the case is that he beat the fuck out of a lady.
Wow.
So fuck him. And he goes to prison I don't know how long he was sentenced for, but he went to prison for 2 years. And after he got out, he relaunched his career. Once again, Gigi faced zero social consequences, cancellations, or negative effects to his life or career. And in the following few years, Gigi enjoyed the support of punk rock labels.
Awesome.
He continued touring, and he released multiple studio albums with his band until 1993, when it all finally came crashing down. So I just kind of thought that was like important to include, because that's like one of the many things that people leave out.
Yeah.
When they're talking about Gigi Allin. And like that is like the most like simplified vanilla version of events I could have possibly said.
The original trigger warning you provided here included essay. Is that?
Well, he says I'm gonna like do you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
he it's hard to say, because like, I mean, if we didn't give a fuck about how people felt when listening to this, we could cover all the details.
Yeah.
But I feel like people aren't listening to this to hear about this type of shit. And I'm also trying to take cue from other true crime stuff I've listened to, where I've noticed there's a trend in true crime right now where this like kind of an ethical true crime where people aren't going into as much details as a way to like be more respectful to victims. So I'm kind of thinking if we're going to cover stuff like that, maybe that would be a good cue to take.
I think that's smart. I also don't really want details. Probably.
Yeah, it's like it's you still get the story without, you get it. Anyway,
I also just want to say for the record that I no longer feel bad for this guy.
I don't feel bad for him. He was a complete fucking scumbag freak.
Like right after I said that, you said a bunch of stuff that made me not feel bad for him anymore.
Right. That's remember that's why I had that line where I was like, and this is exactly the marker where that's over.
I did still feel a little bad for him. Like the John Wayne Gacy stuff is fucking creepy and gross.
Yeah, it's like.
But I also was like, I don't know. He sounded just really mentally ill.
He's one of, like when you talk about someone like fucking R. Kelly, there's like mountains and mountains and mountains of evidence that point to it being 100% true. Yeah. Like R. Kelly is undeniably R. Kelly.
Yeah.
But this guy, I think it's because he's not, like if this guy was as popular as R. Kelly, there would be that much evidence, I think.
Yeah.
And I think there isn't because he's like an underground guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think take that with a grain of salt because it's complete speculation, but...
Well, he went to prison for beating the fuck out of a woman.
Yeah, and he went to prison all the time for beating up other people.
Yeah.
And indecent exposure.
Yeah.
Because he would just be buck fucking naked all the time, throwing poop at people.
Yeah, I don't know what we're, like, debating right
This
now.
guy is, like, the worst person ever. This guy is the worst person ever.
Yeah.
Yes, but, so, anyway, so we're kind of getting toward the end here. He played his final show ever at a punk space in Manhattan inside of an old gas station. Imagine that, punks being able to rent out an abandoned fucking place in Manhattan. 1993 was a different time.
Yeah, what the fuck?
A massive fight broke out after only 3 songs, and the show got shut down pretty much immediately. And then Gigi led all of his fans outside where they were like walking through the streets, partying and screaming and being crazy and shit. So it was probably pretty whatever. Anyway, but eventually the parade stopped and all the freaks went home, and Gigi and a small crew went into the apartment of a man named Johnny Puke.
Nice.
That night, they all did a bunch of heroin and then passed out. And then Johnny Puke woke up in the early hours of the morning to find Gigi still in the same chair. Gigi had died of a heroin overdose the night of his final show. Wasn't supposed to be his final show because he, during this time, was planning even more albums, was in the middle of booking a European tour, and had big career ambitions, but he was doing drugs.
Yeah.
So he fucking died. Anyway, the most iconic, one of the most iconic parts of his death was that Johnny Puke and their entourage did not call an ambulance immediately. Instead, they had a Polaroid photo shoot with Gigi's corpse.
What?
And they were all just like hanging out, like punk rock, taking pictures of themselves with his dead body.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's pretty fucked up, but yeah, that's exactly what you would expect from the type of environment he cultivated.
Yeah.
So eventually they called the ambulance and Gigi was taken away and he was dead. Gigi's funeral is another iconic, fucked up, bizarre story where they had his funeral at his ancestral home of small town New Hampshire. Funeral goers say the corpse was not embalmed and was prepared poorly. He was bloated, and it was just a horrible, weird presentation of his body. They had him in his signature leather jacket and put him in a jock strap.
What the fuck?
Which was just disturbing to look at. There's a full video of his funeral on YouTube, and there was only 8 people there, and they were just blasting his music, just at a ridiculously loud volume while everyone was just standing around crying.
Wow.
And they were doing drugs and pouring alcohol on him. And one person in the video puts a baggie of drugs into his dead hand, and they're putting liquor bottles in, and it's just this weird, sad funeral of his drug addict buddies and band members just doing drugs, and
just in a random New Hampshire town.
Yeah.
Live stream, basically.
Yeah,
That's
just
93. That's that gives me a dark feeling in my stomach. Like, that's very sad.
It is really horrible. It's a really horrible video. Like, it's just weird and creepy and just like it kind of like they were celebrating that it happened. Like it was
badass or something.
As if it was a good thing. And then I'm pretty sure also, weird fun fact, for their final album that they put out after he died, they used a picture of the bandmates posing with his corpse in the casket as the album art.
Really?
Yeah. So, also another weird fun fact, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if they still do, but his band was called G.G. Allin and the Murder Junkies, and the Murder Junkies continued to tour without him, just as like a tribute.
That sounds like they lost the whole act, to be honest.
They lost the whole act completely.
Wow. What shitty fucking people.
Yeah, one of them was his brother.
Was his brother there?
Yeah, his brother was in the band still.
No, but his brother was there the night he died?
I don't know that detail. The only person who's named in any article you can find that I've noticed is Johnny Puke.
Probably because that was his name.
Yeah.
Do you think Jimmy Urine took any hints from that?
Who was Jimmy Urine?
From MSI.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him.
I think he also committed crimes.
Oh, is
another
mindless
story.
Self-Indulgence canceled?
Jimmy Urine specifically is.
Oh, whatever. Fuck them. Okay.
I was kind of sad about that, but whatever.
I did love mindless Self-Indulgence. Anyway.
I still kind of do. I found out about this really recently.
Whatever.
He's a piece of shit, though.
We can cover that another time.
Okay.
G.G. Allin, blah, blah, blah. G.G. Allin was buried in a small cemetery in Littleton, New Hampshire. His headstone became a place of pilgrimage for 90s punks. People would go there to drink, do drugs, and they would vandalize the cemetery. Eventually, Gigi's mother had the headstone removed permanently, and Gigi's grave became an unmarked and unknown site.
She outlived him?
Yeah, so that's another, I forgot to say that. She put on the funeral.
Because she's probably only
She's
like
in the
50,
video.
right? Wow.
Yeah, she actually probably was. So he died at like 36.
She was only 20.
Yeah, she was like 56, 57 when he died.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
So that means she fully saw all of this happen. That sucks.
Yeah.
That must have been stressful.
And when you look at, and what's really sad is like, I don't want to direct any, I mean, it's not like we have a huge audience or anything, but I wouldn't want to direct any traffic to like personal, like non-public figures or something, but you can see, like, you can like find her obituary from when she finally died. And if you read it, it's obvious that, and from her picture and her obituary, she's like a completely normal old lady. Like, you know, and like many normal, kind, good people families, sometimes people go down a weird path and become crazy fucking people, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, because it's not, whatever. I mean, this is just as much a story about addiction as it is about anything else, because, you know, if G.G. Allin didn't do fucking drugs, maybe he wouldn't have done all the fucking crazy fucked up shit he did. I don't know. Maybe he would have. Maybe he would have been a sober demonic guy.
It's hard to say, because it seems like there were many overlapping things going on.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to read the last closing remark. Oh,
also, there are a lot of people that do drugs, even like heroin and stuff, that wouldn't do a lot of that stuff.
That's 100% true. Yeah.
Just to put that out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of that's completely true. G.G. Allin was known in his time as a no fucks given, badass punk rocker. He was a young baby boomer and a Gen X legend. And fun fact, also, he was so legendary during this time that even Kurt Cobain and members of the band The Flaming Lips are said to have visited him in prison in 1990. When he was in prison for the thing we were talking about of attacking that woman.
Kurt Cobain visited him?
Kurt Cobain visited G.G. Allin in prison.
Interesting. What do you think they talked about?
And Kurt Cobain, I don't know if he said it publicly, but members of the Flaming Lips wrote a book about their career and the story of their band, and that was in their book, like a biopic book about how they were like on tour with Nirvana, and they were like near the prison where he was in, so they went there.
Huh.
And I can tell you exactly what happened when they got there. Cobain himself was a big fan, but was once had the opportunity to see G.G. Allin live, but was too scared to go to the show.
Valid.
Yeah. The young Nirvana frontman wanted to fan out and meet G.G. Allin, but Gigi screamed at them and was spitting on them and calling them homophobic slurs and made them leave and refused to speak with them.
Well, I mean,
I think he basically thought they were like posers that just wanted to go there, like, so I don't know, because he probably knew who they were, because Nirvana was like a force at the time, and the Flaming Lips, I think, were probably pretty well known too. I don't know a lot about the Flaming Lips, but
was it like a really weird thing to be a fan of him at the time? Also, I'm kind of surprised.
See, that's the thing, is no. That's the fucking big mystery about this, is that Gigi Allin did so much heinous shit, committed real crimes, but people just didn't fucking discuss it. Like, and people still don't. People just remember Gigi Allin as the guy who threw shit on people and like was a crazy punk rock performance artist. Not that he was like that. That's what I'm trying to dispel, is that what he was doing was not cool. If he was actually like, okay, let me say this. If somebody was a crazy performance artist that was like breaking bottles on their head and naked and doing some fucked up crazy body fluid art, and they weren't a horrible person and they were like thoughtful and respectful of other people, like I might fuck with that.
Yeah.
I might be like, okay, there's something like here, but when the like your art, fucking in air quotes, involve like your art doesn't, you're not allowed to have art that is killing people. Like your art can't be like a homemade gun that you shoot people with, and that's the art.
Is it possible that the how bad things were wasn't like public knowledge at the time?
I think that's true, because like
if you hear someone gets like fucking like knocked out in a pit, it's like, that's bad. Like, you don't want that to happen to somebody, but I feel like it's a kind of recent discourse that you should be really careful moshing and stuff. Like, I feel like, I don't know, it always should have been the case, but I also think like when we were like fucking teenagers, even if someone got their nose broken at a show, it was like, oh, that's sick.
Don't stand near the pit if you don't want to get fucking whatever. Yeah. You know, it could have been because hardcore dancing didn't exist until the 80s and 90s, and slam dancing was like, moshing was still called slam dancing. You know what I mean? It was like barely push pits. It was people just like jumping around and this and that. Yeah. And it wasn't until the mid to late 80s and 90s that hardcore dancing and the spin kicks and stage diving, that's when that was. So there probably wasn't really a lot of discourse about it because it was a brand new thing.
I feel like we need to ask an 80s punk about this.
I mean, I definitely...
What was the vibe?
Oh, what was was it chill to beat the shit out of people at shows?
Was it chill to like Gigi Allin, or was that like a weirdo freak thing to do?
I think that it was a little bit of both. Where was
it like a cool weirdo freak thing to do?
I don't want to talk about it until we have prepared remarks about it. But do you remember the museum we went to recently?
Yes, and I was thinking that too. Yeah.
We were like, people only like this because they haven't been here.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that'll.
There's a fine line. There's a fine line.
I think that might have been like what Gigi Allin was like, where I think that the people who had seen him were just quiet voices. The people who hated him were quiet voices, and people who liked him endorsed him all publicly. Yeah. So it was like, if somebody hated him or was victimized at his show, they're not like famous, they don't have a platform, and it's the fucking 90s. What are they going to do? Write a fucking fanzine? And you know what I mean? Like, there's just no... I think that there was no signal boost.
He was in prison, though.
Right, but how would you know that?
I mean, they visited him there.
If you had... Okay, if there was somebody that from another state that you only saw every couple years, like a touring traveler kid that you knew, they could they could theoretically do 18 months in prison, and you would never know.
I'm talking about, like, Kurt Cobain and the Flaming Lips going to his prison cell.
Well, I don't know. That is like, I included that for a reason, because...
Is that weird?
Because Kurt Cobain is known as this, like, darling of, like, people love him and feel like he would have been, like, non-binary if he was alive right now, and people are, like, very, like, parasocial about Kurt Cobain, and I love Kurt Cobain, too. I love Nirvana. I'm a big fan, always have been, but, you know, people project a lot of values and beliefs and things onto Kurt Cobain. Who knows? We don't really know. We don't really know anything about Kurt Cobain, unfortunately, tragically, because he died.
Well, he had a lot of journals and stuff. Like, I think that's also based on his writing and his perspectives on things that he said publicly, but... So, like, I don't think that that's entirely untrue, but he also did have, like, a sense of humor about certain things. Like, he had kind of a dark sense of humor. And, I don't know. It's interesting. It just surprised me to hear that he was a fan.
That's exactly why I put it in there, because it's, like, it's just strange. The story of G.G. Allin, where I think it could be a generational thing, too, where, you know, like, there are, like, old film noir movies where, like, the main character, like, slaps a lady.
Yeah.
And, like, it's just fine. Like, in the movie, like, movies from the 30s and 40s.
Well, it's a big difference between the 90s.
Yeah,
the
that's
30s
yeah.
and the 90s.
I don't even fucking know why I don't even know what I'm saying. Like, I'm.
You know, before World War One,
I'm fucking grasping at straws too. Like, I don't. It truly is a mystery why people just didn't give a shit that he. I mean.
Well, I guess I'm also wondering too. Like, did they go to see if he was actually a piece of shit? Because that's another thing. Sometimes you have to experience something not because you condone it, but because you're just like seeing it through. Like, was it for the plot? Like, they happened to be nearby, and they're like, you know, we could go fucking see G.G. Allin today. You want to see what he's like?
Yeah, it could have been. Like when you're watching, like, you know, like when you're watching, like, Stephen King movies or something, and their kids are like, hey, you want to go see a dead body?
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know.
Like, was he actually a huge fan, or was he, like, curious?
And here's the thing. This is, like, kind of where my Lolcow theory comes into play.
I want Kurt to be innocent.
Huh?
Dawn. I want Kurt to be innocent.
I know, me too. It's like, this is right. Okay. I have two theories I have many theories about it. I think that people may have kept going to these shows. I think one reason they kept going to the shows is because they were just as twisted as he was. Mm-hmm. He cultivated a fan of bizarre people that wanted to participate in this fucked up shit.
That was definitely a piece of it.
So that was probably, yeah. Two, I think there was probably a lot of people that went there to watch a stupid, fucked up freak humiliate himself and do a bunch of fucked up stuff. Like a Lolcow. Like, they probably knew, oh, this fucked up weirdo is in town and he's playing a show. Let's go watch him be a sick freak and laugh at him in his terrible music. That, yeah. I don't know. I've never really heard anybody say that, but this guy, like, literally, like, he's like omniscient. Like, he's just this horrible, immoral guy that's hurting people and dominating people. And he's a complete narcissist, obsessed with attention and the spotlight, and doing fucked up, horrible shit to people and himself for attention.
That's a really interesting parallel.
Onision. I think that, like, I don't know. I kind of stand by it. Like, G.G. Allin, let me say this. He is just a complete baffling enigma mystery man, but I just don't think that he is a genius visionary performance artist. He's not, because at the end of the day, like, I'll be kind of snobby, I'll say it, like, listen to his music. Literally sit there and critically listen to the music. It's not good. Like, it's generic punk music, and even the most refined versions of G.G. Allin and the Murder Junkies or G.G. Allin's solo country acoustic, it's just crap.
Yeah.
Like, it's just generic crap that anybody could have made. And he, like, the only reason he was the guy that was naked throwing shit at people is because he was just a totally fucked up psycho.
Yeah. That sounds like it's probably true.
Should I read my closing remarks?
Yes, closing remarks.
Excuse me. I really need to stop doing that while recording.
Yeah.
Okay. Despite Gigi's violent acts against fans, women, minors, and his frankly racist and homophobic antics, he was propped up and lauded again and again and again and again as a hero. Like a punk rock legend. I believe he is a big part of the reason that 90s and early 2000s punks had the attitude that they did. I think that he was the messiah of the no fucks given, fight anyone, smash shit, do drugs, punk rockers. He didn't invent that attitude, but I think that G.G. Allin is the unsung hero of crystallizing that into a really toxic punk rock core tenet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was like a living example, whatever. But, like, and you might think, like, why even talk about a piece of shit like this. Like, why not just forget him and move on? I agree with the sentiment that it's irresponsible and disrespectful to celebrate shitty, bad people just for fun or something. But I think that retelling the story is a good thing, the same reason we should remember any horrible person.
Yeah.
You know, like, just...
He's also, like, a pillar of New England punk history.
He
Like,
kind of is,
you talk to anybody about what being a punk in the scene at the time was like, and they're going to bring up G.G. Allin.
Right.
Which makes sense, considering what it sounds like it was like to know that that guy was playing shows near where you were. Whether or not you were going, he was probably on your radar, but it's definitely... I have heard the name before, but don't know a lot about him, and I am interested to know there were this many details, because you would think that I would have heard that by now. I just know people who think that he's cool.
He's a mythical punk legend of just one of the scariest, craziest guys ever.
I feel like people usually bring him up in the same breath as, like, biting the head off the bat.
Ozzy Osbourne, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah, that's a good story. Yeah, that's true. Which actually isn't true. He didn't bite the head off a bat in a boardroom. It was like a dove or something.
I thought it was on stage.
So that's the thing. So it's kind of funny how that happened. Was he did grab a dove, like they released doves during a meeting, which is like a dumb thing to do or something, in front of all these record label executives.
Okay. And
he bit the head off one of them in front of a group of like A&Rs and record executives.
A living dove?
Yeah, he bit the head off a bird and killed it.
What the fuck?
Yep. And then after he did that, it became a thing where fans would go to see Ozzy Osbourne and would be throwing dead animals and dead birds on stage to get him to bite the heads off it.
Ugh.
Yeah, and then one of the first times that happened, a fan threw a real dead bat on stage, like a big ass fucking dead bat, and he thought it was fake, like a prop thing, and he picked it up and bit the head off it and became like ill. And got like an infection, had to like go to the hospital.
Kind of deserved that.
I know. Anyway, but that's Ozzy Osbourne. But okay, getting back to this, it isn't talking about these guys isn't to celebrate them or minimize their damage. It's a way of looking under the hood and trying to figure out why the fuck this even happened. G.G. Allin started out the infant child of a deranged, abusive freak who believed his newborn son was Jesus reborn. Through abuse, poverty, and repeated failure of the system, he became a force of destruction, pain, and abuse under the guise of punk rock performance art. I don't really think he was a real musician. I think he was a lolcow. He was less like Kurt Cobain, Iggy Pop, and Henry Rollins, and more like, as I already said, Onision, Chris Chan, Daniel Larson, etc. You name them. And like I said before, if you don't know who any of those people are, just be glad you don't. Because like the Lolcow people, fandoms online are just populated, just like G.G. Allin's audience, with demented, horrible people that are just as bad as the person they're torturing and pointing and laughing at.
And FYI, if you don't know any of those names, just don't even look them up, because they'll be on your For You page forever.
Yeah, don't look at those videos, because I think that like when you look at videos of Lolcows, they're disguised as like, well, that guy's a this or a that, so it's okay, like, or that guy's like what, like, and it's like you think like, oh well, that guy's like a sex offender, who cares if these people are torturing them? But like what's really happening is
these people just unrelatedly want to cause someone harm.
Yeah, they're exposing their willingness and readiness and flagrant dehumanization of somebody else. Yeah. Like you're just watching a bunch of people that desperately want to dehumanize another person, and they've found somebody that they can morally get away with it. That everyone's like, well, I guess that guy is a bad person, so I guess you can do that.
So I guess it's not weird for you to watch TikToks of us berating him every single day.
Or even worse, being one of the weirdos following around lolcows and filming them.
Yeah, bad.
And you know what? If G.G. Allin was alive and doing that in the 2020s, he would absolutely be one of those people.
Yeah. That
people are following around with cameras and like antagonizing them and getting them to freak out on purpose just so they can film them and go viral.
Yeah.
On their dumb, shitty account that only has like 800 followers.
Put your seatbelt on.
I did.
Are we going home now? You're done?
I just figured we drive around. I mean, I'm done with the script. But I don't know. Like, I just wanted to... I feel like I've gotten into this habit in my life of any time somebody brings up any celebrity. I'm like, well, did you know that guy ran somebody over with their car in 1999 and killed them? Like, I've had to stop myself from doing that a lot recently.
Really?
I don't know. I know all of that information. It's just, I just have like infinite amounts of useless, like, dumb information like that. And I just felt like G.G. Allin was a worthy target.
Do you just feel like history is more interesting when you tell the whole damn story?
Yeah. Pablo Picasso.
No, I think that was a good script. You did a good job. Very
Thanks.
well researched. And a perfect length also.
I just really want people to understand that I like this isn't cool and it isn't funny, and I wanted to talk about this so that we could highlight that.
Yeah.
And that's according to my research, like I said, I'm not a fucking historian. We're just people with a podcast having fun, but that's my opinion on G.G. Allin. I think he was a joker, a fucking asshole, and he should have been in prison longer.
Yeah.
And he should never have been given a platform to do any of that.
You're my source, but I agree with you.
I agree with everything you said.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the way you said it earlier really sums it up. Like, if you're causing harm to other people in a real way, it doesn't matter what your intentions are.
Yeah, because think about the performance art episode where that guy crucified himself.
Yeah.
Like, a guy was just...
Like, that was weird, but, like, go off, I guess.
Right. It's like, he didn't crucify somebody else. He didn't, like, spray blood on somebody.
Yeah.
He didn't, he just... And I'm sure the people who watched him do that willingly did.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't just surprise pop up crucify himself in, like, the town square and nobody expected him to be there.
Yeah.
That would actually be fucking crazy if somebody did that.
And even if he had done that, that still wouldn't be as bad as
That's
just
less
beating
bad.
the fuck out of random people.
Right. Because
that's just assault.
You gotta wonder, too, even if... I'm pulling over because this fucking person's up our ass with high beams.
Oh my god, I thought we were getting pulled over.
Oh, no,
I was
we're
like,
okay.
that's so funny.
Yeah, I've been waiting for the day that happens, actually.
Why are there so many cars behind us? Are you driving really slow?
Maybe I was driving
There's like
slow as
10
shit.
cars just right up your ass.
Yeah. But you gotta wonder if G.G. Allin could have even been a pioneer of crowd killing.
Interesting.
Because because crowd killing, for the uninitiated, is, a version of hardcore dancing where you intentionally punch and kick unsuspecting people in the crowd that aren't moshing.
Yeah.
Like, it's when you just jump into the crowd and just start punching someone in the fucking head.
Yeah.
And that's like, and there's a lot of bands that cultivate that, where they want it's like cool. They want people go to their shows to experience that, or to do that, or to witness it. And that could be kind of, I don't know if someone else would share that opinion. Maybe G.G. Allin was just like the original crowd killing guy.
Well, it's also interesting to think about the fact that after he died, or after his fame kind of dissipated when he wasn't in the scene anymore, like, what happened to all of those people who were looking for that kind of energy in the pit?
They all became Marilyn Manson fans. Just kidding, I don't fucking know.
Well, they all stayed in the scene, right?
Yeah, I guess so, probably.
Like, I think that there are people that... crowd killing is pretty much generally out of fashion now. Like, I think that most of the time when you go to shows, at least the ones that I go to...
It depends where you're...
Yeah, it does depend. It depends on the genre and where you are. Yeah. But most of the time, people are like, if you see someone fall down, pick them up. Like, don't fucking... Like, you get called out if you crowd kill someone. That's, like, the more...
Yeah.
The more trendy thing to do is for the whole band to fucking stop playing and yell at you.
Yeah.
Especially at local shows. But there are also still, like, random people that will go to a show, like, in their hometown with, like, 12 people they know and just, like, beat up a girl for no reason.
I've seen it.
It happens.
Seen it in front of my eyes, for real.
Yeah. So, I think that there is, there's something about being in an alternative space that it's like a double-edged sword, where it creates a welcoming environment for people that feel, like, out of the norm. But I think there are also sometimes people who are out of the norm because they're seeking thrill from something that just isn't actually okay. And they also feel like they have an entitlement to those spaces and sometimes do things like that, which is where I think the tension with crowd killing comes from.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of middle of the road on it, where like, I think if it's a small band and there's like 50 people at the show, odds are everybody there is like in on it and they want to crowd kill each other. And if it's that kind of show, I mean, I guess fucking knock your socks off. But it's like, we live in a world where there's mass crushing deaths and fires and people getting stepped on and suffocated. And I feel like I'm like being like super graphic right now, but like we live in a world where things like astral world deaths can happen.
Yeah.
And I just don't see how being chill with crowd killing fits into that.
I also don't know if I even agree with what you said about it being a small show and that being chill. Like, if you know somebody and you've talked about it beforehand, or you've been to shows and they've said like, oh, I think this is fun or whatever, that's different. Like, if it's your friend. But if you're gonna go to a show with, like, I've been at shows before where I had to like leave the floor and like sit behind the merch table because some random dude was just punching people in the face.
Yeah,
and
I've been to those shows too.
Just because it's a small show doesn't mean that everyone's reading the room, unfortunately. Some people are just sickos.
I retract what I said, I guess. Like, because like there's like a kind of dead version of hardcore that like you don't really see as much anymore, but it was bands like, you might know, like, you know, like 4 Years Strong, Set Your Goals. Like, I don't know, like there was this like, it was almost like conscious hardcore or something. Like, you ever heard, you know what like conscious rap and like backpack rap is?
Yeah.
Like, it was almost like this version of that with hardcore punk, where it was like hardcore punk for the betterment of society and to improve your community and help people. And
yeah,
like there was a lot of bands that kind of did that, where there was hardcore dancing and spin kicks and crowd surfing, but with like that kind of safety, like pick someone up if they fall, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of bands like that, like we talked about a while ago, how Joyce Manor was like viciously publicly canceled in like 2017 because they freaked out and didn't want anyone to crowd surf at their shows anymore. And everyone was like, those fucking everyone hated Joyce Manor because they were against crowd surfing.
You know what's so weird about that, though? I think I said this to you when we talked about this at the time, but I must have been on the other side of the spectrum because all of my friends suddenly loved Joyce Manor in 2017.
Yeah, I think I was probably just hanging out with...
You were at the crowd kill shows?
I was at crowd kill shows all the time.
I was at the pull your friends out of the pit shows.
Yeah, and I think I was a victim of groupthink because I was just like, yeah, I guess everybody just crowd kills at every show. That's nothing wrong with that. Fine.
Yeah, no.
And I like remember being at shows where I would like be standing there enjoying the music, and then like one of my actual friends would just punch me like in the back of my head as hard as they could.
Yeah.
And I was just like a pussy if I was mad about that.
Yeah, that's a bad vibe.
I actually really hated that era and hated all of those shows, and it was so bad.
It sounds like it wasn't a cultural moment. It was just a bad atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like maybe you were in the wrong place.
I was just at the worst shows ever.
Hey, it happens. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not trying to act like an angel. I was like a dumbass too that was, moshing and trying to perfect my spin kick and punch my friends too. I was a bonehead as well.
I want to see you spin kick.
I can't. I couldn't even back then. I don't know, man. It's like the same as any toxic friend group when you're in a scene like that, because like everybody is constantly tearing each other down and making fun of each other behind their backs, or making fun of each other's music, or like I've even seen people make fun of the way people hate mosh. If you can imagine that, like, oh dude, that guy's like, the way that guy punches people in the face is cringe. Like that guy, like his form sucks.
Yeah. His form.
Yeah, like what kind of like environment is that? And I don't know, like maybe we're just like cursed like idiot millennials and zoomers, and like our generation of metal and hardcore is just trash. And maybe in the 80s and 90s it was cool and safe and fun. But I highly doubt that.
Yeah,
I highly doubt that.
Another thing too,
I bet worse things happened back then than they do now.
Well, I know that they did because every person that was there brags about it all the time.
Yeah.
They love to tell you about how it was so dangerous then.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was going to say, though, something that is kind of interesting to reflect on is that even as we're saying this now, like, there is a small part of me. I haven't been to a show like that in, like, years and years and years. Like, it's not even that serious, but there's a part of me that thinks that that's kind of funny and, like, it would be fun. You know, like, I understand the adrenaline surge of being in a space like that where everybody's acting crazy and the music is super loud and everyone's having a good time until someone's not. But nobody's thinking about when someone's not until it happens, you know?
Yeah, dude.
Which is what's dangerous about it. I'm not saying that that's a good thing. I'm saying that that's kind of a bad thing.
It makes me feel sad because I agree. Like, and that's kind of why I brought up that thing where, like, if it's a smaller show, like, because I think a lot of bands that do promote like crowd killing and hate moshing and shit at their shows are the types of bands that are playing small places. Like, they're playing shitty places, like outdoor shows at a skate park or at an Elks Lodge.
Well, most venues don't want you to do that.
Of course not. Yeah, they absolutely don't want you to do that. But I'm just saying, like, I think at those events, you know, a crushing event or something is way less likely.
That's true.
So, and those bands, because of their genre, are most likely never going to even be playing places as big as, like, the House of Blues.
Yeah.
Like, there's rarely, like, if we're talking metalcore bands or, like, classic hardcore, like, I'm sure there's, you know, I'm sure, like, Madball plays some big fucking rooms because they're Madball. But I don't think that, you know, it's not because that stuff sucks or because no one likes it. It's because it's an alternative art. Well, like, it's alt. Like, those places, you know, mainstream interest doesn't accommodate the larger rooms.
One thing that I do
I
also...
just said that, like, my sentence made sense, but, you know, it made no sense, but...
I think also, too, that there is a middle ground with this, which I have seen before. I can't think off the top of my head of any bigger name bands that I've seen do this, but I've seen some local bands do this, where they will just tell you, like, this is a song where if you guys want to go crazy and you want to crowd kill each other, you can, but give everyone a few seconds to get off the floor. Like, you can do it this time, and the song's going to be 3 minutes and do whatever you want, and then we're going to go back to being chill, you know? Sure. And I think that there are some bands that do that. There's, like, a back and forth. They're making space for everybody to have fun, and I think that that is, like, the peak vibe.
Yeah.
It's probably harder when you have a bigger venue, but...
This whole conversation reminds me so much of skateboarding. Because skate culture, you know, you don't wear helmets, you do crazy fucking shit. If you get hurt, fuck it. If you can't handle it, or if you can't skate like us, get the fuck out of here. We don't even want you around. Like, that's kind of how skate culture is. And it's a shame because it is toxic. It's mean. It's inhospitable to outsiders. It's a men's space. Like, if you can't hold your own and you're not like a dude that's ready to fight anybody at any moment, don't even pull up. Like, don't even come skate if you're not, like, there's a lot of skate environments that are like that. Yeah. And it fucking sucks. And it's like, and I skate in those fucking spaces all the time. You know what I mean? Because I don't give a fuck. And I don't know, I've been skating for fucking like 20 years basically. But it's like the same thing where it's like a culture of subculture that's existed with toxicity for so many decades that it's like, changing the toxicity would be changing the actual makeup of the subculture. Because, like, there's a lot of new pros and new brands and, like, new skate vibes that are changing that, but the majority of skate culture doesn't fuck with those entities at all.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing with hardcore punk a lot of the times. Like, I don't know.
Well, it kind of depends, though, what your perspective is on that, because, like, the way that I feel about it is that the only spaces that I've ever participated in are ones where I feel safe being in the room. So I don't feel like anything's really changing, because I was never part of that existing culture in the first place. Like, I'm not going to go to a show where I'm going to get my fucking teeth knocked out.
Of course
like, what
not.
The hell?
Fuck. And that's, and the unfortunate part about that, and, like, the really dumb, well, no, the dumb and ironic part of that, is that these fucking idiot bands that try to cultivate an environment like that are most likely doing it for clout and because they are trying to preserve, like, that dynamic, but they're never going to graduate beyond those fucking rooms by cultivating an audience like that.
Well, it's not even just cultivation of an audience either, though, because it's also like, I don't know, like the way that I think about that is, do I want to go to a show where the band is courting men who want to punch me in the face?
No.
Or do I want to go to a show that will be fun?
Right.
Like,
I
you know
want
what I
to be.
mean?
I want to have fun. And
Like-
they're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
No fun here. And just like hits you with
Beat
like
the fuck out of anyone under 5'5".
Just like hits you in the face with a padlock around a bandana.
Yeah, and I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, I think maybe if you're somebody who can straddle both sides of that spectrum, it might be a little bit more complex because you actually can participate in all aspects of it. But as somebody who, like, there are actually spaces where I would not feel safe and have never been engaged. Like, I don't feel like I'm missing anything. Like, those bands are, it's not just an audience thing, and I don't feel bad for them to putting a ceiling on themselves because you have to be a piece of shit to be courting that audience. Which is kind of how I feel about Gigi Allin, too, after this conversation.
Right, and I kind of feel like it's, yeah, that's true, because, well...
Like, oh, boo-hoo, I don't get to fucking listen to a band of some guy who's, like, I don't know, wearing a tiny hat and, like, yelling. So sad.
Yeah.
I'm, like, conjuring images of, like, 2015 right now, so actually, I just dropped that joke in the middle. But you know what I mean.
It's funny, talking about Gigi Allin, I didn't expect it to conjure and lead into the discussion of, our personal experiences with metal and hardcore. But it's actually kind of interesting because there's, like, infinite parallels between Gigi Allin's, like, the culture and fandom he created and his time, and between what I directly experienced in my time in local metal and hardcore.
Well, they're both...
I'm still making sense of that in my head.
They're expressions of certain perspectives, right? Like, it sounds like from what you summarized of his biography that he was somebody who was trying to be loud and intimidating and probably had messaging from a young age of, like, chaos and being used to a really chaotic environment. And also... I don't know to what extent, but being fed, like, this really, like, narcissistic dialogue of, like, you are a god, and also you're a piece of shit. Like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and you're Jesus reincarnate.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense for somebody to... Like, the kind of energy, if you're gonna boil that down to just, like, buzzwords that is there, is, like, very, like, hyper-masculine, very dominating, very aggressive, very, narcissistic. And I think that those traits can manifest in any subculture in a lot of different ways. So maybe there's parallels because it's a similar energy versus it necessarily being his legacy. But another thing too is that it is also, like, many generations beyond still punk. So I don't know. I knew people when I was in high school to listen to Gigi Allin.
Yeah. It's like one of those things where it's like, I don't know, you know, I actually don't even want to, I'm not even going to say the name of the band, but like the iconic horrible grindcore band AC I think they changed their name to AC, but
okay.
And they were famous for the I wish I could, like, write it down because I don't want to edit this episode and bleep it out, but I want to tell you whatever, it's not important. But, like, there was, like, another example is Cannibal Corpse, where their music, I mean, if you like death metal or whatever the fuck it is, I guess maybe you would like it, but it's, to me, unlistenable, just white noise, garble crap.
Yeah.
And their whole shtick is that all of their song titles are some absolutely fucking horrible, shocking thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, and that was the same with AC, another grindcore or whatever band, or Power Violence. I don't know the names of these things. But that was, like, a thing, is, like, you would only listen to Cannibal Corpse if you were just like, yeah, I listen to Cannibal Corpse. This song's called I Come Blood.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why you listen to them as, like, a 13-year-old skull candy headphone punk rocker or whatever.
So that's an interesting piece of this, too, is, like, I feel like a lot of the relatability... I feel like part of the reason why Gigi Allin is so fucked up is because he wasn't, like, 15. Like, he was like 30. Yeah, like an adult man causing real harm and, like, a threat to society.
Yeah, I bet a lot of the people at those shows were, like, fucking 18.
Yeah.
Or even younger, probably.
That's an interesting thought, actually. I hadn't considered that.
Yeah, because what fucking normal, like 30-year-old... Or, like, I'm 28. I would never go to something like that.
Yeah, actually...
There's probably not any normal people at those shows.
That's even weirder to think about, like, just picturing everything that you described happening at those shows, but it's all, like...
All kids, probably.
Yeah. Well, maybe not, though, because, I don't know, Kurt Cobain maybe was there.
Maybe Kurt Cobain, apparently, he said in an interview that he was too scared to go.
Valid.
Yeah.
That's probably good. Another timeline where Gigi Allen just beat the fuck out of Kurt Cobain.
Or
in an
murdered
Elks
him.
Lodge.
Or just, like, killed him by accident.
Oh my god.
So I'm pretty sure Kurt Cobain was, like, a relatively small guy.
Yeah.
I think he was just, like, you know... So he unfortunately would have been no match for the imposing, looming, murder junkie Gigi Allen.
Yeah, God,
what he looks like, if you look at a picture of him, he just looks like an ogre. Like, literally, he looks like
an
Shrek
orc.
on crack. So,
Ugh.
yeah, you should
Well,
Google a picture of him on your phone.
Oh my God.
Have you never seen what Gigi Allen looks like?
I don't know.
What are you reading?
His bio.
Look at his pictures.
He has a kid.
He has a child?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's such an interesting thing that I forgot to include. The sad part about I wouldn't even say her name because I'm pretty sure she's like a completely private person. So we probably ethically shouldn't include her in the story.
Okay.
But I looked at her Twitter and she is like, I won't even say anything, but she's just like 100% like just a normie. Just
Aww.
a complete regular life person who is not a public figure and is like just very unfortunately the offspring of that guy.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that fucking crazy?
Good for her for having a good and normal life.
I know. Yeah. And what's sad too is that I highly doubt she got left some great fortune or something.
Yeah.
She probably got left nothing.
You know what I think I saw that I'm not sure if I did see, but I feel like there was a viral video on TikTok like a year ago about the girl who was in this interview.
Oh, you know what you might be thinking of is, I forget her name, but she looks a lot like who I think you're talking about. There was a girl who had a public access TV call-in radio show where she was like dressed like an attractive e-girl look or whatever, and creepy guys would just call in and be like, fuck you, or like blah blah blah, or like, you know, just saying almost like they were all like on an Omegle. Like it was like that.
No, I'm talking about there was a
but it was from like 1991.
Oh.
So
maybe.
That's why I think that, anyway, whatever.
It was a video it was a woman who is like an adult now, and she was like, I'm the girl from this video.
And you think it was the Gigi Allen video?
Well, I didn't know the video at the time, but it was an alt girl who was on a TV show like that, and they put her on there just as like a...
Was she saying like, I'm fucking punk, like punk rock is all about blah blah blah?
Yeah.
Because I think that might be a different thing actually, because I think I remember. Because
I thought she had like blue hair maybe.
Because in the one with Gigi Allen, they're both sitting directly next to him the whole time. So every shot of them, I'm pretty sure he's in.
Okay.
So I think if you saw one that was like an isolated girl, because that was such a common shtick at the time to like do a talk show and just have a bunch of like wacky like characters.
Yeah.
And also being goth and emo was still a shocking and like not pervasive, like it was still like a subversive thing. It's like not at all anymore. You could like go to the bank in a fursuit right now and it like wouldn't matter.
I think you also have a little bit of like a high tolerance for weird looks.
You know what's something I've been trying to do, speaking of that?
What?
It's a new like personal goal of mine.
Okay.
I am trying to eliminate cringe from my emotional like catalog. Like I'm trying to
no
just
longer feel it.
Yeah, I'm trying to just delete cringe from my mind. So
For yourself or for others or both?
For others. Like I'm
Okay.
trying to just permanently stop cringing at people that or things or anything. Like I feel like my life will be enriched and will be better and I'll be more empathetic if I just stop experiencing cringe. Not like avoid it, but like I want to be able to see something embarrassing or weird or cringe and just be like, nice,
Just
whatever.
feel empathy or ambivalence.
Or not even, just like be like, oh, or like, I don't know, like, I don't know. I just feel like my world will just open up if I'm not cringing at people anymore.
Like, I had 2 gut reactions to that at the same time, and I don't know what this says about me. But my first feeling was, oh, like, I don't want to not feel cringe. And then I also was like, that would make you a way better person if you really achieve that goal. But also, I love cringe. Well, it's so fun.
The thing is, I mean, because when I see something cringe, I want to look away. Like, I'm like, you know, when you like a scene in a movie where you're supposed to feel secondhand embarrassment for the character.
Oh.
That's what I want to delete. I don't want that anymore. And like, there's this really interesting ContraPoints video, like philosophy YouTuber from RedTube or whatever, but she made a video about cringe just as like a ambient concept that this was like fucking 8 years ago, probably, who knows. But
the windshield's very foggy right now.
Yeah, it is. But one of the points she made in it was that cringe is actually a survival instinct.
Really?
You know, in a sense, or it kind of stems from a survival instinct, because when you watch a cringe video or a public meltdown video or a Karen being arrested video or something, and you're cringing, you are imagining that happening to you. And that feeling is
self-protective.
It's
like
it's putting that in your memory catalog to make sure you don't do that.
Interesting. Yeah, that's probably true.
Which is kind of an interesting thought. I don't know. But like, I don't know. Because another thing too is that I have missed out on so many amazing things in my life because I was cringing.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
Like, can you imagine? I know so many people that want to promote their band or be viral or whatever, or make content that everyone sees. And like, they were all cringing at TikTok in 2018 and 19.
Yeah.
I was too. Like, remember back in the day when you'd see TikTok ads of like someone doing like cosplay and doing this thing or whatever, dressed up as like an anime character, dancing, and it was like a Facebook ad promoting TikTok?
Yeah.
Everybody was like, fuck TikTok, I'll never use that. Meanwhile, they're like, check out my new album. If all of those people that were like, check out my new single, comes out March 31st, if they were doing that on TikTok in 2018, they'd be like as famous as Bella Porch.
Yeah.
And Bryce Hall, because that's what Bella Porch and Bryce Hall were doing in 2018. They were on fucking Musical.ly.
That's true.
And I cringed at TikTok back then, and I skipped out on it. I was like, I'll never use that. Psh. Psh, it couldn't be me. I would never want to go viral and make millions of dollars and promote my art and music.
Like you do now.
No, I don't do that.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. I also think that... What?
Oh, nothing. There's a car behind me that I'm trying to avoid because they're up our ass with high beams on.
Oh, that's the worst.
And I try to turn to get rid of them, and they just turned as well.
I was gonna say too that I think that a lot of the time, if not most of the time, people that... Ooh.
Fucking piece of shit.
What an aggressive loot. Don't say that.
Sorry.
While we're recording.
Okay. I'm just like Gigi Allin.
I was gonna say that I think most of the time people who are being cringed at also don't deserve it, and it has a huge capacity for harm.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that feeling.
I don't know. People who are making... I don't even want to say cringe content, because it's not even like that. It's like people that just are existing and people are cringing at them know that you're doing that. And it makes you look like a douchebag, best case scenario, and worst case scenario, it makes that person want to kill themselves. And, is it really that deep, ever?
No. It's just not. It's I don't know, man. Yeah, and I mean, I'm not talking about not cringing. I'm still probably going to feel cringe when I see something embarrassing.
Yeah.
Online or in person. But I feel like more accurately to describe what I'm saying is I'm trying to get rid of my reflex of just immediately averting my eyes and just being like, nope, not doing, can't look at that.
It sounds like you're taking the same approach as people do with anxiety and panic attacks. Practicing mindfulness about the feeling.
Yeah, it's definitely a mindfulness thing. Because I think it's cringe is kind of related to disgust, or any emotion. It's really any emotion where you're not like somebody, were you ever like a kid and you're like really mad and then someone's like, no, your brother didn't make you mad, you're mad or something?
Yeah.
That, whatever the fuck that means. But like, I feel like that someone who's being cringe, they didn't give you cringe. Like, they didn't inject it into you or like incite it in you. Like, you're responsible for your feelings, right?
Yeah.
So, how this relates to Gigi Allin, I have no idea.
Maybe we shouldn't judge him.
I feel like we need a palate cleanser right now. Yeah. I feel like we need a palate cleanser because...
This is also a 2-hour-long episode.
We're at 2 hours?
Almost.
Oh, nice.
Hour 50. If you're still with us...
Hey,
welcome.
Shouts out. Thank you. But yeah, I guess to go back to Gigi Allin a little bit, like...
I thought we're palate cleansing.
Well, yeah, we've said enough on that.
What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, I just wanted to reiterate, this is more of like a case study in piece of shitology.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not like, we don't think this guy's funny or cool. Like, it's just like, kind of just like ugh. It's just the kind of how the fuck did that ever happen type episode.
Ugh.
I mean, not like, I'm not comparing Edie Sedgwick, but the Edie Sedgwick episode, I kind of feel is similar, where that episode wasn't designed to inspire anybody, but it's was more of a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
A bit of a tragedy. I think about Edie Sedgwick multiple times a week, every week.
Yeah. I feel like that one was a little different, though, because she wasn't a piece of shit.
Well, I was saying that it's actually not like this one at all. I know scratch that.
Our intentions in reporting it maybe were similar.
Maybe,
but
yeah.
I feel like that one's a little different, because I think that she actually was a talent. She just had some unfortunate circumstances occur.
You know what would be a really fun way to brand these episodes?
What?
Or to change the way that we're doing this?
Okay.
You know what? It's like a YouTube shtick that people have been doing many people have copied from each other over the years. Or whatever. But there was this one YouTuber from a long time ago who is, I don't know. But there's a YouTuber that used to do a series called Content Cop, when this guy was like a bad guy at the time. Whatever. We don't have to get into it. But then eventually H3 podcast created Content Court, which was they kind of ripped off the Content Cop. But the whole shtick is they pretend to have a court session where they like have like somebody, a prosecutor talking about why this creator or YouTuber is a total piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then they have somebody doing shtick, like pretending to be the defense attorney. Like arguing in favor of the idiot YouTuber they're putting on trial.
That's kind of funny.
And I kind of wonder if we could do a derivative of that, where we could like put Picasso on trial. You know what I mean? Or like art court or
but
something.
We need more people for that?
No, I mean, we could do it we wouldn't have to have a mock trial. We could like do it in a way where we,
Maybe we could do a mock trial and then post a poll and fill in what the jury said the next week.
Yeah, that could be true. It's hard to do incorporate the audience into it, because it's like
they're silent.
They're silent.
You guys don't talk to us.
You don't talk to us. That's okay.
Sometimes you do.
I don't know.
You're like a cat, kind of.
The audience is like a cat.
Yeah.
I kind of think we need to have a business meeting about the podcast too.
Like forum.
Yeah, I think I haven't been. What'd you say? What'd you say?
I said like warm. I was thinking about Milo. I miss my cat.
Oh, meatloaf.
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, I don't think I've been putting in really any work into building new scripts or trying to do interviews. I have felt very distracted and busy.
Yeah.
And you've also been completing your degree and working a fuckload, and it's like, I'm really proud of us that we did take a break a little bit for travel.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely proud of us that we've kept it up. But it has become it's been a bit of a writing on the wall situation, that I fear that our original goal of documenting local art and stuff is becoming harder and harder and harder and harder. And it's like, I love local artists. I love our community. I love meeting new people. But it is, like, I will say, I'm sure we'll pick it up and do more, but sometimes I fear that our our most prolific days of interviewing are behind us?
Well, it's tough because it ebbs and flows with what's going on in our lives too, because like we've said this before, but for context, like we both do other stuff. Like this is not something that's funded. There's nobody, and it's not even just about funding. Like we've been doing this for like 4 years. Like it's not about whether or not we get paid. We still record every week, but there's a lot of like time and effort that goes into making sure that you have a continuously refreshing pool of new people. Like if we were just covering our friends or people that were in our direct community that we saw all the time, it would be a lot easier. But our goal was to talk to new people all the time and to push making a holistic portfolio all the time. And when we started the project, we had COVID money for one thing. I think that neither of us had jobs because it was the pandemic, and everybody was sitting around doing nothing and could talk to us on the phone whenever we wanted. So we used to do multiple interviews in the same day, like multiple days a week.
Yeah.
And now it's like, first of all, we get a lot more out of interviews in person. So that's kind of tough because like we could do more over the phone, but those are harder, especially people we haven't met before. It's a little bit less welcoming to the other person. I think both parties get a little less out of it because we don't actually get to see each other and build that connection.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, it's nice to do studio visits, but on the flip side, those only happen like every once in a while because then you have to segment a whole afternoon off to go drive somewhere.
And there's also people we interviewed on the phone that it was so hard to connect that it's like we never even met them.
Yeah.
And the interview was like kind of flat, and it was just like, oh well, all right, hey, cool, having a strange anonymous non-conversation with you, which
has never ever happened in person, by the way.
Yeah, that actually, have we had a really fucking weird interview in person? We had one. Well,
we just interviewed a sicko one time.
Is there a live aired interview that was in person that went weirdly?
No. And there's only one interview in 4 years that was recorded that we didn't air.
Yeah.
So.
It was Gigi Allin.
Might as fucking well have been.
No.
God damn. No, we just accidentally interviewed a psychopath one time. But everybody else.
Some podcast lore. Whatever. Fucking.
I think like one person knows
the
story to that. And it's Trevor. Shout out.
Shout out to Trevor.
Shout out to Trevor. It's been a minute. Also,
I think we literally did a shout out to Trevor on the last episode.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I do on every episode.
It hasn't been a minute.
It's a like meta podcast joke for me to say it as much as I possibly can, but I don't know if anybody, including you, even laughs anymore. I hope Trevor laughs.
It's true.
I just think it's funny to imagine somebody who hasn't listened to our whole archive being like, who the fuck is Trevor?
Yeah.
Like, why do you keep shouting out someone named Trevor?
If we're ever famous or something and we have a big audience, we could make t-shirts.
Shout out to Trevor?
Or who is Trevor? Not even who the fuck, just who is.
Who is Trevor?
Who is Trevor?
Or Trevor, question mark?
Alright, we're talking about Trevor too much.
Why? Weird. It's weird? Do you think he's gonna message us and be like, stop?
No.
Stop.
I have to pee so bad right now.
I like want a snack.
Oh yeah, what time? Everything's closed.
Fuck, no.
Yep, everything's closed.
No. There's a place that's open till midnight.
What place? What, fucking Wegmans in Chestnut Hill?
Is it? How do you... Of course you know that. Why would you know that Wegmans in Chestnut Hill
don't fucking worry about why I know
till
that.
midnight?
Don't even fucking...
You're bougie now.
I'm not bougie. I've never personally shopped there for myself.
I thought you only know the hours of Popeye's locations.
Oh, God, don't talk to me about Popeyes.
We've upgraded.
Popeyes is just literal poison.
I don't like any fast food chicken chain.
You just go there and say, hi, I would like a bucket of poison and a cup of just like curdled poison milk.
I don't like fast food chicken ever, but I do like KFC corn.
You know what? You know how in Minecraft you can buy...
You didn't acknowledge that statement.
You can buy soup off some of the villagers, but sometimes they sell you suspicious soup.
Yeah, that's every single time I go to Wendy's.
That's Popeyes. Oh, it's Wendy's? See,
yeah.
I would fucking literally take a bullet for Wendy's.
What the fuck?
Like, I would defend them.
You need to raise your
I'm
fucking boundaries.
No, I don't. Wendy's
You would take a bullet for Wendy's? Would you take a bullet for me?
Yeah.
You hesitated.
If it was absolutely mandatory, like, no, I would. Yeah, I would. If it was if it was like,
I'd take a bullet for
if
Wendy's.
we
Maybe.
If we could just like run away and neither of us could take a bullet.
You didn't say this about
that
Wendy's
would
at all.
Well, that's because I would never actually take a bullet for Wendy's.
You'd actually take a bullet for me?
I mean...
Don't do that. That would ruin my life.
Yeah, let's stop talking about this. It's too fucked up.
Sorry.
Let's not actually discuss that. That's not a good
Well, I didn't
topic.
know you were serious. It sounded like you were doing a bit.
I think I'm serious.
Oh, stop. Stop.
Yeah,
Oh
This
my
is
God.
too dark.
I want to go get candy or something.
We can just go to like 7-Eleven and get candy.
Disgusting.
You know, if you buy candy at CVS, it's the same candy that they have at 7-Eleven.
That's actually not fucking true. Because when you go to 7-Eleven, you get gummy worms. They're stale every time.
That's actually, you know what? I take back what I said.
Yeah.
Sometimes 7-Elevens and other convenience stores have stale candy.
Which is disgusting.
Which is just so fucked up.
Disgusting. Or like when you get a chocolate bar or something. Like, have you ever gotten like a Hershey's chocolate bar from like a gas station and you open it and it has those like blooms?
Yeah,
the
you
white
told me about that.
blooms.
Sugar blooms? Is
Yeah.
that what they're called?
And it's just like stale. It tastes like nothing. Like, what the fuck? You buy your candy like 7 years ago?
Yeah, probably. Maybe if you go to a gas station or something or a place like that and it's in like a very deserted, like low traffic area, maybe they're more likely to have terrible quality stale stuff.
I think it's more
because
likely.
It sells so infrequently.
But explain to me why it happens more commonly in the city.
Does it? I don't know if that's true.
I feel like if I'm on like a very busy street in Boston and I go to like a gas station to get a candy, it's going to be gross. But if I go to like a 7-Eleven or a CVS, all right, actually I'll say 7-Elevens in the city, different than gas stations in the city. 7-Elevens in the suburbs, not that good. Unless you're getting like, I don't know, gum. But if you're in the city and you get candy at a gas station, suspicious candy.
Yeah. I kind of lost my train of thought. Oh.
You just stopped listening to me in my gummy worm reviews?
I think because I have to pee and I'm also thinking about snacks now. Now we're talking about food, so I'm trying to think of a place where we can go get some food.
We're in bedtime mode. We gotta go.
Well, not yet.
I think we gotta go. We're over 2 hours now.
Do you want to go buy candy?
Do
you want me to actually take you to a place to get candy?
Where can we go? I don't want to.
Literally, the only option is like mobile and 7-Eleven. I'll go in for you.
Oh.
Now you're considering it?
I don't know. I really wish that there was like a Walmart.
Yeah, unfortunately, COVID just killed 24-hour Walmarts.
Probably good for Walmart employees, but bad for me specifically.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. I need to end this episode so I can be normal.
Alright, let's shut it down.
Okay.
Alright, let me see this. Alright, guys.
Are you gonna say Boston Art Podcast?
Boston
Guys,
Art Podcast. Gigi Allin. Look, I don't. Oh, you want to get candy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Gigi Allin, I don't get it. I don't vibe. And I just want to say, I love a good punk rock legend, and, I love the lore and the mysticism of it all, but I think that Gigi Allin is the type of story where if you look a little bit closer and actually look at the details, it's not so funny anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just like, I don't know, and I feel like a party pooper and like a narc a little bit almost, but like, I just think it's like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy straight up. I don't know.
Fuck Gigi Allin.
Fuck him. I don't give a fuck about...
That could be some Boston Art Podcast merch too.
No, fuck that. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. Fuck him. Fuck his music. I mean, it's funny that he threw shit on people, I guess.
No.
Maybe. I don't know, but...
I saw in an article
fuck
like
him.
he also ate it.
I guarantee he did. I guarantee he did. Anyway, yeah, so we're sorry if this episode disturbed you or made you feel sad or upset. I also want to do these better. So I'm also open to the fact that if I fucked anything up or if I should say something differently, let me know. But yeah, fuck Gigi Allin, Boston Art Podcast. Thank you.
Good job, Bri.
Aw, thanks. I'm trying to get back into it because I love doing it and because we need them.
Yeah.
So, all right, Boston Art Podcast. Boston Art. All right, I'm shutting it off.
Bye.
Boston Art Podcast is an independent DIY production by Brian Huntress and Theodora Earthworms. The information contained in this episode represents the views and opinions of the original creators or our guests, and does not represent any institution, organization, or business. Find us on Instagram at Boston Art Podcast, and tune in for a new episode every Friday. Thank you for listening.